And good. Alright, how you doing, everybody? This is going to be a fairly raw video. I'm going to try to do this in one take because I really don't want to spend the next several hours doing post-production. Sorry, guys. If you guys knew what I went through last night. But anyway, first of all, I want to thank Metric Bernard and Trails of Doom, both of you guys, for doing videos for the Sniper Challenge. Appreciate it very much. If you guys, I would do the video and video thing, and I was thinking about that, but I did not ask for permission, and I'm not going to assume permission. It could fall under fair use, but I'm not going to do that to you guys because I have some respect. So what I'm going to recommend, though, is watch their videos. There's going to be links down below. I'll put some up on the screen over here. Also, if you're on Facebook, there's going to be their videos are like the two under this one, unless somebody else has posted between now and anyway. But so check out their videos and then come on back here, and that's all good. But I want to address some of the stuff that they were talking about and showing, which is really, really good. First of all, Trails of Doom. First thing he does in his video, he does the 350-foot shot. That's cool. But the problem I have with it is that the ball bounced. He was shooting at a paper target, and the ball did not punch through the paper. If it did, he didn't show that. I think he said later on that the ball hit a different area on the paper, but he didn't show a hole in the paper. So that means the ball didn't even punch through. And I think he was shooting the first strike rounds. So, problem with this is it tells me that the 350-foot shot is doable, sure, but it's trash range. It's the same problem I have with stuff like the Apex and the Flatline, and that is, yeah, sure, you're getting a little bit of extra range, but at the top end, what the big deal is about how much further the ball goes, but at the top end, it's trash. The ball doesn't break. It doesn't do anything. We're not playing airsoft. The ball has to break on your opponent for them to call themselves out. Now, I know that I said in the past that all you have to do is bounce balls off people's heads and it keeps them down. That's only for so long. Eventually, they're going to figure it out, and they're going to move around you or just rush you. Either way, it's going to suck. So, yeah, it's cool to see the ball could get out that far, but I'll tell you this. You give me some old paint. Give me the old Wax Zap. Give me the Cal Mags. Give me the old Peanut Butter Pro Star Labs rounds. Give me some good old Marbleizer, some Gator Black, or heck, give me the first generation Diablo Nightmare, and I will range with you all day. All day. But that's old school paint, and that's another rant entirely. I'll save that for another time because that's borderline war stories, borderline tactical, and it's also borderline people are going to complain at me, you don't know anything about physics, you don't know anything. Yeah, I know physics, guys. I just... Yeah, anyway. Back to topic. Now, Trails of Doom video. He does a lot of game footage. He's got a lot of gun cam footage, which is really awesome stuff, by the way. The big thing, and I don't want anybody to get on his case for this, because the footage that he has, a lot of his stuff is close range. And I can tell you from experience that helmet camera and gun camera footage, if they're further away than like 75 feet, you're just not going to see the dude. Unless he's like Sasquatch standing out in the middle of the field, just walking around, you're not going to be able to see anything at long range with those cameras. Just look at FPS 1, good example of that. But the thing is, close range stuff works better on that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to fault him for that, because honestly, it does work. The one thing though is when you watch his footage, and this is what got me, and it was one of those things I went, ding, oh, I get it now. What he's demonstrating in that footage is not what I would call sniping. I would just call that woodsball fundamental skills. What I'm seeing him doing is stuff that we've been doing since I started playing in '89. It's fundamentals for me. This is stuff that is not anything special. If you're a decent woods player, you know how to use your camouflage, you know how to hide out in plain sight, you know how to hide underneath brush and scrub, and you've got enough patience to do that. Now, maybe this is one of those skills that's been lost to the sands of time. I'm willing to accept that. The thing is that I know a lot of players who still play woods, and they still play that way, so it's not completely lost. So, I don't see anything special in that. I don't see anything that would discern that of being a sniper or not being a sniper. But I'm going to get to that in just a second. Actually, I should get to that right now. Grim Reaper's Ghost. He actually commented in one of the videos that the argument is over nomenclature. The argument's basically about the usage of the term. And he even says, quote, granted, they, as in snipers, should be accurate shooters, but a sniper, to me, focuses on fieldcraft and stealth to augment his shooting abilities. Here's why I'm starting to have a problem. there is no standard definition of what a paintball sniper is. Even amongst themselves, every single one of them says, well, to me a sniper is, and then everything else after that changes from person to person. When you're talking about military snipers, there's a course that you go through. Everybody has a core number of skills that they learn. They learn how to create their own ghillie suit. They learn how to do the fieldcraft stuff. So by the time that they've earned the name sniper, everybody has X amount of skills. Everybody has that. Some have more, but you're not allowed to graduate that class, and you're not allowed to be calling yourself a sniper unless you have this level of skills. In paintball, that doesn't exist. In paintball, anybody can call themselves a sniper. I'm getting ahead of myself really hardcore here, because tomorrow's video, as in the tactical video on Thursday, is going to be addressing this in full. So I'm going to encourage you guys to tune into that tomorrow, and that'll kind of explain a little bit about, well, it's kind of that's one of the heady topics that I was talking about. So we're going to go with that. So watch that tomorrow. It'll kind of explain my take on that a little bit. Now, Metric Bernard, cool video. He did a talking to the camera video like I'm doing right now, except he did it with more editing. I just don't want to spend the time editing today. And he actually had a lot of questions. He had a 10-minute video. Watch his video and come back here if you want to, I suppose. But let me answer some of his specific questions. One of the things he said in the video is for expectations. What did I expect for $100? He says he can do a scenario for $100. I say I can eat for about 2 or 3 weeks on $100. Hey, priorities, man. Why do you think I haven't been playing a lot lately? I've got no cash. I would love to have cash, but no. But for $100 for one event, you know, I was thinking about this too when I even did the video, and that is, you know, if you think about tournament play, if you break it down from individual players, it can easily be $100 to almost $200 per player to go to an event, and that's not counting travel time, that's not counting other expenses, but it's still kind of pricey for what it is. I mean, if you need to $100 to prove who's the best shot at long range. Let's see. He also mentions about the Top Sniper event. Why is it a scam? And here's the problem I have with it. They promise a $5,000 prize. When I see big dollar amounts being promised, the red flags go up instantly. And that's my ride. But the red flags go up the moment that the prize money goes up there, because this goes back to I kind of hinted to this in the other video about the big rub out and the Paintball Island scam. Both of those promised a huge money prize to one individual, and both of those ended up being huge scams, monstrous scams. That's yet another thing, and I might do that next week as, like, I don't know, maybe a war story, I don't know. But essentially what it is, it's the promise of lots of money for little investment. And it comes down to promising all you have to do is showcase your skills and you can win all this money. That's always like the ding warning in my book. It always has been, it always will be. I could talk about, even in the tournament world, I could talk about this too. The Zap Am, I think it was the Zap Am 1 year, that was a Spider Cup. It was a Spider Cup. They promised 5 Mustangs to the winner of the Spider Cup. What they didn't tell you was, yeah, it was 5 Mustangs, but it was a 1-year lease on those Mustangs. Not quite the big prize you think it is. So that is, that's just kind of irks me when I see stuff like that, because there's so much possibility there. But anyway, yeah, so I see big money prizes, and I was just kind of go, ding, warning, what? Okay, I'm paying attention now, what? That's just me, though. Now, he also mentioned Top Shots, how a lot of the stuff in the Sniper Challenge sounded a lot like Top Shots. Now, this is actually kind of interesting, because I watched Top Shots. I haven't seen anything from Season 3 yet, but Season 2 is the one I'm going to pick on here, because they had a 1,000 yard, I think? 1,000 meter, 1,000 yard? They had a Sniper Challenge near the end. And the guy who was the real sniper, the guy who was the military sniper, did it in 1 shot. Then again, that was his bread and butter. But the thing is, it took him more time to take that 1 shot than it took for the basic amateur to just wrap off almost an entire clip to hit the thing. Now, the reason I mention that is because the guy who does it for a living knew he had to do it in 1 shot. But the other guy knew he had to do it in the fastest amount of time, so he was gaming the system. Which actually brings me up to the other part here. He was talking about the, Metric was talking about the 400-foot shot. saying, you know, well, if it's not possible, we'll just keep on pulling the thing back. Okay, there's a couple things I did not mention in the video because I didn't think it was important. And this is probably a fault on my behalf. I'm willing to accept that. But they do explain how the games kind of work in the rule system there. Now, the 400-foot shot one, you, as far as I can tell, you choose a platform to shoot from, and then you try to shoot at targets at X distance away. Now, you can choose the 400-foot shot for maximum points, or you can choose the closest shot for the minimum amount of points. And this is where you start playing the scoreboard and not the game, because what you're trying to do is you're just trying to rack up the points, knowing full well, this is what this guy's doing, this is what this guy's doing. So if you're the last one to go, you can look at what everybody else has done and go, okay, so in order to win, all I need to do is hit the close target 3 times, and that's not really a showcase of skill, that's just a showcase of who can game the system. And that's not really, and I suppose that's the nature of competition, but if you're trying to find out who the best sniper is, gaming the system is not the same as displaying top skills. And also the other thing I should mention too, speaking of gaming the system, the last one that I was talking about, the sneaking up on somebody from 350 feet away, what I did not mention was that the guy who's looking for you, the referee who's trying to find you, he turns his back on you for 30 seconds, and then after 30 seconds turns back around and starts trying to spot you. And you start 350 feet away. That's about a football field and change. Okay, now my knees are bad, so I'm not really good at running right now. But I'm willing to bet that a lot of you guys, a lot of you young guys, you can run 350 feet in less than 30 seconds. So if you're going to do this competition, here's what I would recommend. As soon as he says go, drop everything but a pistol and run. You haul all the way to the other side of that field. You get right up close to that referee, and before he turns around, boom, you bunker him. That's just the system, man. You're just playing for the maximum amount of points because you get the most amount of points the closer you get to that referee. They didn't say you had to sneak up on that referee in that 30 seconds. They just said you got to get as close as you can and take the shot. That's what I mean by gaming the system. If you've got somebody who's more of a gamesmanship player than is an actual sniper type player, he's going to win regardless of the fact that he doesn't have the skills. But somebody's going to argue that down in the comments down below, and I welcome that. I like that. Now, Metric's also talking. The title is not important. Tomorrow's show. Watch tomorrow's show. That's all I can. I've already done it. It's already recorded. It's in the can. It's uploaded right now. It'll go live tomorrow, midnight Central Standard Time. Tomorrow's show. I swear. Okay. Now, one other thing, he also talked about the 400-foot shot, and he demonstrates this by using his apex barrel. Now, when you watch the shots with the apex barrel, you'll see what I was talking about before about the trash range, but you'll also see something happen with all those rounds. All of those rounds, they get a lot of spin on them, and they just move really wild. It's worse than Kentucky windage, for crying out loud. You can't predict it. And, yeah, it's getting out there. The balls are getting out there. But it's such a wild thing. I would be surprised if anybody could predict where those balls are going to go from shot to shot. And I always thought that the whole creed of the sniper was the one shot, one kill, being able to put a round on target every time, all the time. Or at least that's the ideal. I understand it doesn't always happen, but I thought that was the ideal. Now, he also brings up a good point. Are you playing for realism, or are you playing to have a good time? Well, you guys tell me. Because if you're playing to have a good time, and you're just cosplaying as a sniper, okay, a part of me doesn't want to fault you for that, because I understand. You know, I wear ears and a tail when I play, for crying out loud. So I understand about dressing up to have a fun time. But, gosh, this is being talked about tomorrow's show, too. You're tapping into the sniper mythos. Why? Why are you doing that? But this taps into tomorrow night. I don't want to tip the hand on tomorrow night because tomorrow night's show is going to be such... I had so much fun doing that. But if we're playing for realism, then let's go all out. Let's do the milsim thing. Let's do all that stuff. I mean, I've got my A5 that looks like a rifle. I could play with that all the time. I have no problem with that. It's a good gun. I could easily just dress in fatigues. I have no problem. I got everything. I could do that. I could patch out. I could do the entire... I could dress up for it. It'd be kind of rocking. But the problem is not everybody's going to do that. And when you walk onto a walk-on game, I have no idea who's there to just kick around and have a good time and who's there to pretend to be Rambo. Actually, you can kind of tell who the guy pretending to be Rambo is. He's the guy who's got the magazine with the clear thing there. You can see the bullets in there, really. Okay, I get it. That's all cool. Personally, I'm just there to have a good time. But this kind of bleeds into the into another question. He at the end he said, "Tiger, what are you playing for?" I'm playing to have fun. You know, I've always enjoyed shooting games. I've always enjoyed that. When I was a kid, before paintball was really even a thing necessarily, I was a laser tag junkie. Yeah, I'm a geek, I know. I used to hang out at the Photon every Sunday for, it was like $10 for an all-day kind of thing. You only got in like 6 games because there's like 5 million other people there, but we still did it. We still had fun with that. And I also hung out at this one place called Laser Zone, which they use flashlight laser tag guns, and it was fun. It always has been fun because there's a challenge to that. Yeah, you can predict what people are going to do, but you can't always predict, and I like that. And I don't play first-person shooter games because they frustrate the hell out of me, but I'm saving that for a WWTF show down the road. So, yeah, that's why I'm playing. I'm not playing necessarily to pretend this is warfare, although it does give you a very healthy respect for people who actually do it for real, you know? Now, longbow vid. Yeah. Metric pointed out that I have a longbow. It's something that snipers would love, and obviously Tiger's not a sniper. And he also kind of poked at me that I was talking about how you need to have a longer barrel to make it look right, and why would I do that if it's not performance related? Well, just because I have something that works really well doesn't mean I don't want it to look nice. There is something of an aesthetic quality to that, and I never said that I am immune to tactical. Never said that. I make fun of it, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a victim of it. I could go down into the basement, I could go down into what small pile of stuff I have down there for paintball, and I could start pulling stuff out that looked really cool at the time, but now you look at it and go, what the hell was I thinking? We do that. That's just a part of it. It happens. So, I mean, I'm not immune. But that being said, why do I have a longbow? Well, because at the time I was sponsored by Spec Ops Paintball. They were doing, basically they were pushing the longbow as their big add-on. And I think they were originally it was just for the mag, but then I think they made it for the Ion, I think. Somebody correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong on this one. But they were trying to get a lot of guys to buy into that because they were trying to also cash in on the sniper thing. And just for that matter, that's why I also have one of their ghillie suits. That's why I have a couple other things, because they wanted me to demo their stuff. And I think I demoed it pretty well. Now, why do I still have a longbow? Because I still look at it as a stock class gun with a bonus. That is, that I shoot a guy once, he decides to wipe it off, I can follow it up with a string of 10 and make him think second, third, fourth, fifth time. That's why I still play with it. I was actually playing with it the last time I played. I was out there for a couple games with it, and then I realized, you know, I bought 500 rounds, and I really don't want to go home with any. So I switched to my A5. So that's why I have one. I still have one, and I still like it. I don't look at it as I can pick somebody off at long range with it. I look at it as it's my pump gun with bonus balls capability if I need to have that. Now, the last thing he mentioned, why be loud? And I kind of understand where he's coming from on this one, because this is, yeah, he's razzing me because I go out in the garage and I get really loud and animated and stuff like that. Well, this is an entertainment show. When it all comes down to it, this is about entertainment. Now, I try to use it to convey information. But in the end, this is still about entertaining people, because people aren't going to come back if you're dry. If I just spent what? Wow, almost 20 minutes. Jeez. If I spend half an hour just standing here reading off a sheet of paper, or I sit in front of my computer for, well, actually people watch Mike and he doesn't move around that much. But the way I look at things is that this is video. I should be doing something. That's why I talk a lot with my hands when I do this. That's why I looked over my glasses. That's why I do all this stuff, because this is video. If I wanted to just release audio, I would just release audio. You're on videotape. Do something. That's my take on it. And that's also why a lot of the helmet camera videos bug me. Because a lot of helmet camera videos, the guy is just, buried into a tree for 3 minutes. And you're like, dude, move. At least, look around. Do something. Show me something. And that's really what it comes down to. But that's also why there's also a loud factor here. Because getting animated, doing all this stuff, it'll be really boring for me to just do that. So that's why you get loud. That and loud is funny, honestly. It's if you get somebody who's really quiet and doesn't want to really talk or anything like that, and doesn't want to share his opinion, what's the point? If you got a passion, be loud, scream your passion, let the world know you like something. I would much rather have somebody who's passionate about something and loud about it than somebody who kind of has a vague opinion about it. No. If you got passion, show me. That's what it comes down to. Alright, so I've spent way too much time. Wow, 21 minutes. And all of this on a show that I'm covering tomorrow too. So tomorrow is another tactical, and I'm covering this in a lot more detail, or at least getting into a concept that is really way out there on this one. If you guys like tomorrow's video, please tell me, because I'm going to be spending the next couple days filming WWTF, which actually had to change. It's now MUD to MMO. I was having some legal problems with World of Warcraft, and then somebody else sent me a nasty gram from MMOMFG. So, yeah, next couple days I'm going to be filming that, and I've got a couple other things that I've got to do as well. So, I might not be as active as I want to be, but everything is pretty much uploaded and just, sitting there. It's in the chamber, ready to go. YouTube's going to pull the trigger for me, which is nice. So, alright, so we're going to call this one at that. Now, if you still have comments, if you still have videos that you want to do on the sniper thing, pro or con, why not? I'll open up this video to video responses. Please leave video responses. Please leave responses down in the comments. Go to our Facebook page, talk it up over there, share it with your buddies and your friends. The whole social networking thing that I suck at. I want you guys to try to help me out here. If you guys like stuff, let everybody know. And we're just going to upload this one raw. So that's why there's not going to be anything in here. So that should be fun. I will catch you guys, well, technically tomorrow, but new and fresh shows coming up next week. So if you got requests, now's the time to talk about it. And I'm going for dinner, so good night, folks.